This episode's road trip vehicle, 1984 Buick Regal Limited Coupe 3.8-liter 2-barrel V6. Today on Road Trips, we head north to check out the historic sites near the town of Chehalis, Washington. And joining us for this trip, we welcome back guest co-host Mark Johnson. So now, let's hit the road. Hello everyone, and welcome to this edition of Road Trips. I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Mark Johnson.
Joining me for this trip today, Mr. Mark Johnson. He hasn't been with us for a while, since the Seattle trip in the first season. And today we're going to be taking you to a couple of historical sites up here in Washington State. We're going to be going to Chehalis, where we're going to take a look at the John R. Jackson House. That's a historical site. And then farther up is the Lewis County Historical Museum. We're starting our trip here somewhere between Castle Rock and Toodle, or Toledo. Toodle? Somewhere in there. Doodles. So you can see behind us, we're actually standing in front of the Toodle, in front of the Toodle River. Here, still see a lot of the devastation caused by the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption.
Coming up on the 20th anniversary of that next
year. Yeah. As we're taping this.
Yeah, and
it is late in the year when we're taping this, although when you see it, there will be out of sequence, so who knows when you'll see this one.
So you won't be cold, but we are.
Yeah, we are cold, so
we're going to get in the car and head north to Chehalis.
North on I-5, and we'll be hitting the Jackson House, will be the first thing we hit, and so we'll get in the car and get on the road.
Warm up.
Okay, folks, we are off. I don't recall the name of this particular road that we're on. I know we passed an RV park.
There's an RV park, yes, sirree, Bob.
We will be exiting onto I-5 North here in just about 30 seconds here. Continuing to head north. I believe in the Road Trips Bible here, Mark's holding. I believe it does give a brief explanation of where our first destination is.
Okay, well, let me just read some of this. It says the John R. Jackson House State Historic Site, and lost it here. Features one of the oldest pioneer structures north of the Columbia River. An important meeting place during the organization of the Washington Territory, the small 1845 log cabin also was a stopover for pioneer travelers. The structure, which served as the Jackson Courthouse as early as 1850, is in a small grassy park on Jackson's Prairie. Its sparsely furnished interior can be viewed through the windows. So, we're going to go check that out first, and then we're going to head on up to the Lewis County Historical Museum. It's in the former 1912 Burlington Northern Depot. Among the displays are a blacksmith shop, saw filing shop, general store, pioneer kitchen, Chehalis Indian artifacts, firefighting equipment, and logging and farming tools. There also is an extensive research library focusing on genealogy and Lewis County history. So, and that'll take a minimum of about 30 minutes to go through according to the book. So, that should be a lot of fun and a very educational trip up there. So, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're always trying to hit the historical sites. I usually find those pretty fascinating. Seeing how things once were, and railroad stuff has always been a fascination of mine too. So we're wanting to take Jackson Highway then?
Yeah. Let's see here. 3 miles east of I-5, exit 68, or 4 miles south on Jackson Highway. So.
Oh, okay. So we can go either way.
Yeah, we can go either way to get there. So shouldn't take us too long to get there from where we were at, but should be a fun trip. I was just telling Todd, I said if one of us ever wins the lottery, I said we're going to take the ultimate road trip and drive across country to Washington D.C. So
who knows?
Or if anybody wants to make some donations to the TV station to help pay for that trip,
oh yeah,
that would be fine too. So
yeah, we've talked about plans for the third season of road trips, you know, where we could possibly go to match, you know, if there's anywhere we could go to beat or match the Reno trip. Well, Reno trips, you know, those have been the biggest trips so far.
Go to Butte, Montana.
What's in Butte, Montana?
I have no idea. I've never been there.
Okay. But we talked about doing a Vegas trip. We've talked about Disneyland, Universal Studios, Universal Soldier.
Actually, you know, I think San Francisco would be a nice little trip. Or even down to the redwood forests of Northern California. I think that would be an awesome trip.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind going on that one. If I would have thought about it, I would have taken a camera when I went down to the Phoenix, Mesa, Arizona area back in May. I should have done that for you, but didn't even think about it. You're right, though. There hasn't been anything that's been able to match those Reno trips yet.
No, especially well, in the second one, you've got a wedding. I mean, that's a road trip's first.
Yeah.
We had snow in that trip, you know, going up to see Lake Tahoe, and those two trips have been big milestones in the series, making it very difficult to match or beat those trips as far as destination wise. So there's just so much to see down there.
Well, yeah, and the Seattle trip, if we could have got up there earlier or even stayed an extra day, I think we would have been able to see quite a bit more. That's another trip I'd like to take again.
Yeah, there is an awful lot to see in that. Well, and we missed the underground tour. That bummed me out. I wanted
15 minutes. We missed about 15 minutes.
I wanted to see that. Which also, I don't know if you knew this, they also have an underground tour in Pendleton.
No, it wasn't
apparently it was like Chinese immigrants or something. There is a description in the book there. But yeah, we didn't get to see that either when we did the trip there, but it sounded very interesting. And they also do there's a particular holiday or time of the year where they actually have like 100 or some actors actually down in there, and they reenact the period of time.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't mind maybe taking a road trip over there, combine maybe road trips and go west. In a September, maybe next
Road
season.
west.
Road west.
Go trips or something.
Go trips, yeah. No, I was thinking you maybe take a trip over to Pendleton in, I don't know, maybe the second full week of September when the Pendleton Roundup's going on.
Oh yes, we have been in this second season. We have been getting a lot farther away, which has been pretty cool. We've had two Eastern Oregon trips, Reno, of course. Most of the destinations being over 100 miles away, and it's in some ways it's made it more difficult, but at the same time it's made it a lot more interesting. We've been able to show a lot more places that I imagine a lot of local people may not be able to get to or haven't seen or something.
Yeah.
And that's what we try to do, and we have fun doing it at the same time. Take take you viewers out on the trip, give you the riding in the back seat feel with our camera behind us, and before we get too much farther, I do want to make sure we haven't missed our exit.
Don't believe so. We're going to check up here. I think this is exit 63, I believe.
What are we looking for? 68?
68.
This is Road Trips. We are allowed to act silly.
Yes, we are. Unlike Go West, where we're so serious all the time, you know. Not.
Well, you're not that serious.
No, we're not that serious.
Well, you got to keep it light, you know, because if you're too serious, people aren't going to have fun watching it.
People are going to fall asleep if you're too serious, and we don't.
Well, yeah. Same thing here. We've always kept Road Trips spontaneous, real light, light humored, and sometimes we get silly, but it keeps it fun, and you and I both know that if you have fun doing the show, people are going to pick up on that, and they'll have fun watching it too.
Yeah. And I think to some extent maybe that's why I act the way I do when we're taping football games too. Joe is always right in there.
Joe's real serious about his football.
Well, yeah, he loves his football, and he's very good at the play-by-play, and I try not to step on his toes when he's doing the play-by-play. Although I do get kind of excited when someone scores a touchdown, I try and break in
Touchdown, St. Helen!
I try and get in there too. It's kind of fun to get in there too when there's a big running play or a big passing play or whatever.
But if Joe's had too much coffee,
if Joe's had too much coffee, then you got to kind of take over because you never know what he's going to say. But Joe does a great job for us, and his wife Debbie does a great job on the news, and it's great to see them involved. And they've both come a long way since they started doing work for Channel 9. And
oh yeah, it's old hat now. Well, for a lot of us that are there have been there for 5+ years.
Well, this year was my off and on 10th year. I started in.
You started with the old crew, the old school.
Oh yeah, J.J. Wright and Tony Combs and Ben Louie and guys like that.
Before the transformation from Sherpa, as some of us know it as, to CCTV.
I can never understand where they got that R in there for Sherpa. I mean,
well, I guess Sherpa is too hard to say.
Sherpa, Shupa. I don't know. But, that was back in the old SHPA days and St. Helens Public Access days, and the first thing I ever did was interview Cindy Williams from television's Laverne and Shirley, and that was...
What a way to start.
Yeah, the only thing is, where do you go from there?
Oh, yeah, well, exactly.
It's like your road trip
just
to Reno.
Now, yeah, where do you go from there?
And
I've talked the same way about AM Dusk 2, which you were a part of. I don't know if I'll ever be able to top that as far as that kind of a comedy music program. I don't know if I can ever top that.
Yeah.
It took 2.5 years to put together, How can you...
And, but in 1991, I had my opportunity to top that. I had the opportunity to go up to the first day of Blazers training camp and interview the 1991 Portland Trailblazers.
Now, where do we want to go? Any ideas?
Let me see here. 3 miles east of I-5, so...
This would probably be right.
Dare I say it? Go east.
Go east. Wagons east.
Wagons east, as opposed to go west. But no, then earlier this year we went to the Merle Haggard concert. Go West went to the Merle Haggard concert, and we interviewed his opening act, Heather Miles, and she was very nice to us. And she's on her way up. I think she's on her way up to. I won't say superstardom, but I think she's open for a lot of big acts, and I think she's about ready.
A good career ahead of her.
I think she does. She's got a very good voice, and she puts on a really good show. And we were just happy to be up there and be able to get her on the air. And
interviews are always fun, but it's kind of like wow, these people could be famous, or and it's like, what do you say?
Yeah,
You've had several opportunities to interview, not superstars, but famous people, and
and it's
I was real close to getting the original Dream Team because they played in Portland before they went to the Olympics that year. The Tournament of the Americas was in Portland, Oregon, and had I called to make arrangements about 2 weeks prior to that, I probably could have got in there and gotten Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley,
oh man,
the whole team, Christian Laettner, you name it.
Christian Slater.
Yeah, I don't think he was a part of the original Dream Team. I think he was part of Dream Team 2.
Hey, that was good. Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah, something like that. Somebody asked me one day at work, one of my coworkers had just gotten cable, and he asked me, he'd started watching Channel 9 because he knew I did a lot of stuff with him, and he said, who is the most famous person that you personally have had a chance to talk to on the air? And
That's hard to say.
Without a doubt, I mean, big names, without a doubt, it would have to have been Clyde Drexler. I mean, he was probably one of the most well-known basketball players. I mean, and he still is. I mean, he ranks right up there with Michael Jordan. And but as far as like maybe TV celebrities or celebrities outside of the sports realm, would have to have been Cindy Williams. Everybody knows Cindy Williams as Shirley from Laverne and Shirley, but since ending that show, she's gotten into some movies. I think the most recent one was Meet Wally Sparks with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be coming up here real soon.
Jackson House Historic Site. That was quick.
Yeah.
So.
Is this the right driveway?
I don't know.
It kind of looks to me like we might have to park or something here, and then walk into the deal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We'll be able to look, like it says in the book, we'll be able to look through the windows.
I know.
But I think this is someone's house that we're pulling into here.
It kind of looks that way.
We may have to.
I'm confused.
Well, Todd, we're here at the John R. Jackson Historical House and Historical Site. I'm going to read what this says for our viewers. It says, John R. Jackson selected this spot for a home in 1844. It became famous as a stopping place for pioneer travelers over the Oregon Trail. Governor Stevens and family spent a night here in November 1854 on way to Olympia. And the other side over here says, in addition to being the Jackson home, this was used as a courthouse as early as 1850. The house and the lot were donated to the Washington State Historical Society by Augustine Donahoe and wife in 1915. So, aside from being someone's house at one point, it was also used as a courthouse. So, we're going to take a walk in here.
I believe our book said this actually, the site actually is open 24 hours. You can see the gate here. There's only half of a gate, so we got a little plaque of some kind here. Let's see.
This is a registered National Historic Place, the John R. Jackson House, under the provisions of the National Historic Preservation Act of October 15th, 1966. This property possesses exceptional value in commemorating or illustrating American history. Placed on the National Register on January 11th, 1974 by the National Park Service, U.S. Department of the Interior, Washington State Parks and Recreation Commission. So this has actually been on the books for about 25 years.
Yeah.
So, and they have, I'll give a shot of this over here.
We got some photographs
of John R. Jackson and Matilda Jackson. And I don't know if you want me to read all this stuff out loud or what you want me to do here, Todd.
I can read a couple of things here. Huh. Just reading about the house itself, it's something about it collapsed or something.
Yeah, it says after John and Matilda's deaths, their house began to deteriorate. The porch fell to the ground, the chimney collapsed, and adjacent rooms rotted away. In 1911, Augustine Donahoe bought the Jackson house. In 1915, he donated it to the state. For the next 7 years, the St. Helens Club of Chehalis worked on restoring the house. The club dedicated the stone wall and memorial tablets during a 1922 ceremony. The Civilian Conservation Corps completed some repairs on the house in 1935. Washington State Parks acquired its first 2 properties in 1915, John R. Jackson House and Larrabee State Park. Since that time, Washington State Parks has been involved in the care and interpretation of this historic house. Kind of interesting.
Okay, so who is this lady? This is Isaac Stevens.
It says the Highlands, as John called his homestead, became an important social center. In the early years, the Jacksons operated a post office, grocery store, tavern, and of course a courthouse. Later, they ran one of the Northwest's most popular inns. Visitors included Ulysses S. Grant, Michael T. Simmons, and the first territorial governor of Washington, Isaac Stevens.
Okay.
Governor Stevens' wife wrote in her diary, "Our host was an Englishman, a farmer who was getting on well, a genial, hospitable man. His wife was a superior woman. She was a fine-looking woman and a thorough housekeeper. At night she took us across the yard into another log house where we found a bright fire burning on the hearth and nice clean beds." So, a lot of nice things to say about this house. So,
okay, here's another an actual photo of the I believe this is the house, isn't it? John R. Jackson is on a horse there in the background.
See, my wife would be jealous. She would love to live in a log cabin.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes. She loves log cabins, and I do too. I think it would be kind of interesting to live in a log cabin.
So this is actually not the original house.
No, it was rebuilt probably pretty close to the same specs as the original. They tried to keep it as original as possible, probably by the pictures that they had.
Much like a lot of the historical sites that we've visited in the past, a lot of them have been rebuilt. Well, this one, you got Fort Vancouver, Fort Clatsop, they've all been rebuilt, and they've all done an excellent job of recreating that original look and the atmosphere, and very good attention to detail. Look inside the house here.
Kind of hard to believe this was used as a courthouse. It doesn't look big enough to.
Well, you got to consider you had in back then you had one-room schoolhouses and things like that, and there weren't as many people either.
This is true.
So you could get away with a lot smaller space. Got some kind of a wheel. There's a seat on it.
Looks like some kind of a grinding wheel, Todd, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I imagine our parents would probably know what some of these things are. not that they're that old, but they would, their parents probably.
Yeah, I would wager a guess even if my oldest brother were here, he's probably heard enough stories from Grandma and Grandpa over the years to know what a lot of these things would have been too.
Yeah.
That's the neat thing about my brother is he retained a lot of that knowledge, a lot of the things that he was told. And he's written them down. I think he's in the process of even writing a book.
Huh. So. Try to cover the glare here. It's a little bit difficult here. You can see through the window there. We've got a fireplace, a mantle. There's pictures up on there. I see something out of place.
Alarm system.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it says secure.
Yeah. Well, can't see the thing. I'm getting too much glare. All I'm seeing is the reflection.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah.
You get a historic house like this, and it had a security system installed.
Oh yeah.
Wow, you know, that was pretty good for back then.
Yeah.
And you know, they had electricity.
They were far more advanced than they let on.
Look in the corner, they got cable television.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know.
Well,
But-
except the TVs were made out of wood, so.
Right. You know, and didn't have, you know, TV cameras. You had to actually have someone behind that piece of glass acting.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it was hard to get the big name stars back then. But
Well, yeah, but you see, there you get your first big screens.
Yeah,
Because you
that's
can't fit people inside the size of a regular TV.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and welcome to this old house. I've always wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
Just had to find the right.
Yeah, you had to
opportunity.
you got to find the right house to do that on.
Oh yeah, and this is
We're going to be
definitely.
restoring this old house. Knock on wood.
Might be able to know. Well, that glares. I get up close enough, you can see in there. And unfortunately, I don't think they let people in the house. I think the security system is there in case somebody breaks into the house.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone. I imagine these people whose driveway we drove into are probably the caretakers for the site.
I would imagine so. But very interesting house.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not that much to it. One thing I can't figure out though, unless it's got some kind of a loft or something, it had windows up up in the peaks. I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Oh, there's stairs right here.
Oh, so it does have an upstairs.
The stairs right here.
Oh yeah. Can we see? You can kind of see. There you go. So there are stairs that
hard
go
to get
up
a
there.
queen size bed up there though.
Oh yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And the rest of the site here is composed of trees. There's a picnic table out there.
Nice big yard for mowing.
Oh yeah.
And this would be the rebuilt chimney.
Yeah.
The original one, it said did collapse at one point. Hopefully it decides not to collapse on us at this point.
At this particular moment.
Please do not lean on it.
Now why do we have boards up on the side here? I wonder what that.
Sure. Unless it's just some added
Reinforcement?
reinforcement.
Only thing I can think of.
Anyway,
So
that's our look at the John R. Jackson house and historical site. What an interesting little stop on our trip.
yeah. And got a brick walkway. I wonder if they had that originally too.
It's hard to tell.
I don't know. But well, we're gonna get moving on to our next. Well, actually, not the next location. We're gonna jump back on the road and continue heading north to Alaska. Oh.
Yeah, right. All right, well, we're back in the car, just getting ready to leave the Jackson House Historic Site, and getting ready to...
You turn into this person's...
Watch out, Todd, she's backing up. Anyway, I'm going to hold on to the microphone for a little while and give Todd a chance to actually drive the car.
Yes. It is it's kind of a juggling act trying to drive and keep the monitor from falling on the floor and holding the mic at the same time.
You expect to hear circus music in the background.
You guys quit clowning around.
So next up is the Lewis County Historical Museum, and we're about probably about 11 miles away, or 11 exits away anyway. I don't know how many miles that would be, but we're 11 exits away.
Because they usually don't
Up
see
here.
every single exit.
Yeah.
They usually skip a few here and there, which is kind of weird if you think about it. And I was like,
Yeah. We try not to think about it though.
try
Yeah.
not to think.
You know, this is a day off from work. You know, we don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to think. You know. So we're about ready to get back onto I-5 heading north, and
To Alaska? Oh, no, it wasn't Alaska. Where was it? Was the other place. Well, we'll settle for Chehalis.
We'll settle for Chehalis today. I don't think we got enough gas to get to Alaska.
Probably not.
Well, unless, of course, we've been to Taco Bell lately. Then we might have plenty of gas to get there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I haven't had Bell in a long time, man. I'm deprived.
That's what happens. You get married, you have no money to go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh yeah.
We're married with children.
Well, I suppose you got to make a compromise. You get the best of both worlds. You have a family, and you still get to do TV. Not quite as much, but you still get to do it.
Yeah, it's been pretty good, you know.
In order to stay sane, you almost have to have both.
Sane? I've always been sane.
Okay, we are now re-entering I-5 North. What are we looking for? Exit
79.
79. Okay. That was a good year for that stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually keep beer that long.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Only if it's bitter beer.
Whoa! Bitter beer face! No.
How do they get their faces to do that, man?
Oh.
We're 9 miles away from Chehalis, so
No, we're not that far.
the way Todd drives will be there in about 3 minutes, so.
Hold on to something, boys. Hold on, or like my mom used to say, hold on to your shorts.
Hold on to your shorts, kids. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that was one of the more famous people that we had on Sports Rap was the Macho Man Randy Savage used to call in. The Nacho Man Randy Savage.
Mama Randy Savage.
Yeah, you know. He used to call in. Actually, I think we did. We revealed it was actually not Randy Macho Man Savage, although it could have been.
Very good imitation.
Very good imitation of him, and by a local man. And hey, here's a road trip we can take one of these days. We'll go up to Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that one a few years ago. That'd be a good trip. I've never been up there, so that'd make it even better. A lot of the trips we've taken are places that I've been. Maybe not for years, but I've been to them. But I'd love to see BC. I know you've seen it. My parents have seen.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No, my mom went up there not too long ago, but I've never been up there.
Maybe it was
my
Vancouver,
sister.
BC.
My sister went up to Victoria years ago.
My parents have been up there, and I've seen pictures of when they went. I guess it's beautiful up there.
Yeah, one of the places to visit while you're up there is Butchert Gardens, and that was one that they just advertised when they were advertising Victoria, BC, back here on a billboard. And I think my sister had a chance to go and check out Butchert Gardens and a few other places up there. She took my grandmother up there years ago, and all I got was a lousy T-shirt that said Victoria, BC. So, yeah, my sister went to Victoria, and all I got was his lousy T-shirt. You know, T-shirt. Yeah. And she didn't have the nerve to even buy one that said that. It just said Victoria, BC.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't complain. She was nice enough to bring me back a T-shirt. So, yeah, you know, I got something out of the trip. So, you know. But yeah, I'd like to go up there myself. Maybe take the family up there. Yeah. All I got is this dang keychain.
Bumper stickers.
Hey, gun and knife show. We're there. That's another guy thing, I think. I don't think you see too many women going, "Ooh, gun and knife show coming up."
I don't know. You might see Holly at some of those. I think we're getting pretty close here. We're looking for 79.
Yes.
Okay.
79. We're at 77 now.
Okay.
Coming up on 77.
Coming up on 77, which is what?
Payel.
Payel and Raymond.
Pay up or something. I don't know.
Pay up or
Pay up Raymond. I don't know. Pay up Raymond.
Well, I don't know. Farther up north, they got pull me up.
You wallet?
Yeah, that's it.
I knew it was something like that.
Looks like pulley up to me.
Pulley up to the bar, boys. Pull me up to the bar, would you?
I can't reach my beer.
I'm falling and I can't reach my beer. Okay, coming up on exit 79.
Chamber Way.
Half mile, it says. So.
If I remember right, oh no, that was the other one. Our original destination was the Castle Rock Exhibit Hall, which if I had done my homework, I would have known they're closed today. Which is why we're taking this alternate trip, because Mark was available. That's one of those things, I guess, if you fall asleep.
Yes.
So you know if you go over the side of the road. I got a flat tire.
No, you're just stupid.
You're just stupid.
1 mile southeast off I-5, exit 79.
Okay. I imagine we're gonna want to take a Roscoe up here.
Hang a Roscoe.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that's right. As to where to go from here, I'm not sure.
It says 1 mile southeast, so you're gonna have to go at least a mile.
Okay.
Down that way. It's on
straight?
Yes. Yeah. It's on Northwest Front
Way. Yeah, there's the Chamber of Commerce right in front of us.
Oh, I thought it was that.
the espresso.
The espresso building is actually doubles as a Chamber of Commerce up here.
Yeah, you got a small town.
You got a small town when the espresso place doubles as your Chamber of Commerce.
Or it's even worse when the espresso shop doubles for the
courthouse.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, for City Hall.
Museum.
Okay.
So
okay, we're real close. Did it say hang a Roscoe up here?
I would say so.
Okay.
You gotta go south, so.
Turn here. Monitor. Okay. So actually, we are officially in Chehalis.
Yes. It's official.
It's official. Free! No thanks. Has title. I don't know if you folks saw that. It was a very old bus with the word free spray painted on it.
Just take it home.
Just take it.
Just take it, alright?
Okay. It shouldn't be too far.
No. It says Northwest Front Way, so look for Front Way.
I don't know what street we're on right now.
We are on National Avenue.
Colony House. I don't think that's it. Wait a minute. Northwest Front Way.
Right here.
Oh.
You just missed the parking lot, pal.
I done missed it?
You done missed it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go straight up here. And what we're gonna do is saw off the top of your head. Okay.
Actually, I don't know. You might be able to park here, too. City of Chehalis parking lot G.
All spaces in this lot are reserved. Okay.
Well, I don't think they're reserved on Sunday, are they?
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it. Let's not take any chances.
Yeah.
Yep, this guy's motioning us. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Lewis County Historical Museum. Now, did you call these folks and ask them if you could bring a video camera in?
No, because they're
closed.
Yeah, they didn't open till 1 o'clock, and this was a last-minute deal. So.
Well, we're gonna have to take a break here real quick and find out if they're gonna let us bring this video camera in here. If not, then we made the trip for nothing.
Yes, but in which case we might be screwed. So.
Yeah, to put it nicely.
Yes. We'll be right back, and
we'll let you know.
We'll let you know.
Well, we're here. We finally made it to the Lewis County Historical Museum up here in Chehalis, Washington. And This was built in 1912 and was originally the Burlington Northern depot. Train depot. And I don't remember what year she actually said it was actually converted into the museum, but out front we've got a tank, among other things. And
I believe there's some information there on the
I was
side
just reading it, Todd. It's a Stuart light tank. It's an M3 series. This one saw combat in North Africa in 1942. It was given to, this particular tank was one of two that was given by the U.S. Army to the Centralia National Guard unit as a war souvenir to replace two World War I tanks that were scrapped for the metal drive during World War II. It was driven in the city parades until it became obsolete and unreliable, at which time it was towed to the Lewis County Museum for public display, which is where, like I say, where we're at right now. And
here it sits. It looks in actually very good condition.
not too bad.
So apparently the inner mechanical workings are no longer functional, but that's okay.
Now here we've got a working replica of the first electric power plant in rural Lewis County. The original of this power plant was erected in 1906 on the Theodore and Elizabeth Meyer Ranch, Alpha, Lewis County, Washington. Its replica was created and made available for display by the Lewis County Historical Society in 1986. So,
and this one actually works.
yes.
You see a huge gear in there. Kind of looks like a flywheel from this point of view.
It does.
Very huge.
Bigger than me. Wow.
Okay, here we are inside the museum. They've got several booths set up along the side here. They represent different parts of the local area. We got here this piece representing, I guess, the train, the railroad portion of the. Seeing as how this was the Chehalis depot. Telegraph here, and I'm assuming this is the telegraph operator, or our person sitting here. I think his name's Clarence. They got several artifacts of that period in here, and some photographs of other surrounding depots in the area. Vader, Winlock. And of course, Chehalis, here we are right here. The building is basically unchanged, with the exception of the surroundings, of course. It's not this open here in the front. I've also got the South Depot, Centralia. Must have two of them, I guess. As we continue down here, we show more period pieces here. Got a description here, the traditional parlor. Let's see, typical evenings activities in the parlor would include reading aloud, playing cards and games. The graphophone, is that right? Mm-hmm. And viewing through stereoscopes.
This was a graphophone here. This was.
I've heard of like a gramophone, but not a graphophone.
Yeah.
So that uses like the wheel.
The old time cylinders.
Yeah.
Is what it used.
Wow.
And in fact, they have some tubes for the old cylinders there, right there. And I believe that was also an Edison creation.
So you would actually switch cylinders like you would records.
Exactly.
They've had an unfortunate incident here. The little, I don't know if you'd call it a bureau or what. They've got the mirror's cracked down the middle. It's too bad. Most of these pieces are actually in very good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along, we got a schoolhouse setting here, or a school room, which actually in those days were the same thing. one room. Well, this of course being smaller than one
this
one
is-
room schoolhouse, but still. And actually, this is very much like the schoolhouse that we visited in Pendleton. Pendleton, the same kinds of desks with the metal frames and the hardwood floors we got here, even complete with a dunce cap.
Which I would be wearing.
Yes. This is a kitchen setting. I think I was reading this earlier. It's half of it is 1900 and the other half is 1920. So we've got two different.
Can you guess which is which?
Can you? Yeah.
So that's probably 1900.
Yeah. The right side is the 1900 side.
Yes.
Actually, the 1920 side. If you look at some of the appliances there, still name brands that are still around today. The GE Hot Point, which I know is still around. We've got a vacuum cleaner is a Eureka here on the left. On the right, actually, let's see. This is a Great Northern vacuum cleaner. I don't know if they're still around. I don't think they are. You can definitely tell that's an older piece. Here in the main exhibit hall here is they've got a lot of I guess the theme that they're doing right now is the dark, what is it?
Deepest, darkest
The deepest,
secrets.
darkest secrets of Lewis County.
And there look to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
Basically the, what's the name I'm looking for? Al Capone type
Yes.
stuff is what I'm getting at.
let's open up the vault.
Yeah. Right now we're looking at the gun tree as it's been referred to. This is an actual rifle that is grown into this tree. Apparently, according to the tale, it was somebody had set it into this tree. I guess it had. Here's a good shot here. You can see where the tree had forked off, and the rifle was set in between the forks. And as time went on, the tree just grew right around the rifle, which I've seen that happen before, like in power lines. Trees will go right around it.
Yeah. This is actually kind of interesting. This was actually featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not book.
They've got a lot of articles that were taken from local paper. A lot of them, the Chehalis Bean Nugget was one of the newspapers that they had here, and they've taken a lot of articles from
the Bee Nugget.
From the Bee Nugget. People dying, murders, all kinds of suicides, all kinds of tragedies, tragedies such as that. Here it looks like we've got some of the Indian artifacts. Some arrowheads over here, baskets.
Aerosmith here.
Arrow.
Sorry.
Too easy. Other stonework. I guess you could call this stoneware.
Yeah.
This is early stoneware. It was a mortar and pestle. It's actually amazing how smooth they got some of these rock works, like this hand splitting maul is what I'm looking at here. It almost looks like a giant chess piece. I got photographs of some of the, I'm guessing these were some of the Indians that were here in the very earliest days of Chehalis and Lewis County here in Washington State.
Here we have what they call a beauty bar. Different
You don't see these anymore.
No.
Which is amazing how they've been able to keep some of these items in the condition they're in. And some of the small things.
Dolls. Things. In here we've got the James McCash Memorial Gallery. Looks like some old
Stuff you'd find in the doctor's office apparently, or at least part of this is.
Singer's Compound.
That guy looks familiar.
Sloan's Liniment.
Price, 35 cents. Actually, back then, I think that was expensive.
There's an old Minnesota G sewing machine sold by Sears and Roebuck for under $20.
Wow.
My grandmother had one similar to this. It was an actual Singer
My
sewing
mom's
machine.
got a Singer, and it hides into the cabinet. Yeah. My mom's got one of
And
those.
the neat thing about these is it uses a leather cord
Oh, yeah.
to propel it.
And that's what, you use your feet to keep, basically.
What you normally would do is you would use your hand to roll this to get it started, and then use your foot to keep it going. And because a lot of times I know, because I used to play with grandma's down at her house, because if you use the pedal alone, it wouldn't get it going fast enough. You had to get it started up here, and then really get it working with the pedal.
Actually,
So I know all about those things, man. Those are cool. There's a
clip from the
New York Times, April 10th, 1865, right at the end of the Civil War. Union victory, peace, surrender of General Lee and his whole army. And it was just a few days after that President Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed. So a lot of history.
Like we enter this room, we
Go back in time.
Yeah, there's a totally different atmosphere in here.
This is cute. Mayfield Mercantile.
Oh wow.
Groceries, vegetables. Here's something. Pepsi Cola, 5 cents.
Yeah.
6-bottle carton for 25 cents. You won't see that anymore.
No.
Not in this day and age.
That's kind of neat. It's like they've almost made a miniature town
Mm-hmm.
in this room.
Yeah, they really have.
Now, what is this? What is this contraption here?
This is an engine of some sort.
Tank Company, Lewis County. This engine was used in the Army tank in front of the museum.
Oh, okay. This is the actual engine out of the tank that we saw before we
Huh.
came in. So,
Right
it
on.
doesn't look much like an engine, does it?
No.
But I guess when you have a small tank like that, you have to compact the engine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because that is a relatively small tank. There.
This would be Mulford Brothers second-hand store, so you can get all your second-hand stuff here.
Yeah.
Note the old telephone here on the wall.
Oh yeah. There was one just like that in the museum at Pendleton, and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, you actually rung up, and it picked up on the other phone rang at the front desk, and they'd answer it. I believe these are post office boxes, if I'm not mistaken.
General store, yes, the Winston Creek area, there. Yeah. Yep. And here you go, blacksmith shop. Some interesting old items here.
An anvil. Isn't that one of those things that always falls on the coyote's
Yes.
head?
Yes. Exactly.
Oh no, there.
If you can get a shot up here,
Oh,
you got
wow.
some Surreys, or buggies as they were called.
Yeah.
depending on where you live, some people called them Surreys. If you lived in Oklahoma, it was a Surrey.
Maybe that's what.
If you lived out here, it was probably called a buggy. A spring buggy, whatever.
That one there's full of luggage.
Yeah.
Very old luggage.
We're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
It hasn't been invented yet, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, how can you go somewhere where it hasn't been invented? Oh no, this is interesting. This was made by the St. Helens Manufacturing Company of Centralia, Washington.
Huh.
And it is a contraption of some sort.
We're not sure what this is.
Actually, you know what it looks like is a food dryer. Which I believe is probably what it is. My dad actually built one of these.
It does kind of look like that. Yeah, like a dehydrator.
Yeah, it's a dehydrator or a food dryer, because what you have is you have trays in here that you would put your vegetables or fruits or whatever that you were going to dry.
Right.
You can dry them. When you dry them, you can store them a lot easier.
Right.
Over the winter, you've got all the moisture out of them. They're not going to go bad.
Right.
You need some. Put them in a pot.
Put
some water in there. Well, yeah, when you need them to make stew, you could dry potatoes. You could dry carrots.
Same concept behind canning and stuff lasts a lot longer when you do that.
Yeah. So, here you go. Here's an electric milking machine from around 1940.
Whoa.
Ooh, that had to hurt.
Yeah. Heck, table saw.
Homemade table saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
Looks like a similar concept to the sewing machine. There's a foot pedal there, and
yeah, because basically you didn't have electricity back then, so.
Right.
Or if you did, it was a luxury.
Right, and usually only your richer folks had the electricity. Now, what's this here?
Now this is, they call it Powers Projector number 6B, has a patent date of July 17th, 1908, and is used in the town of Payel, which we passed on the way up here.
Right. Huh.
Wow. There's a Model F flywheel stationary engine. Notice the spark plug over there. Look at the size of that spark plug.
That thing's huge.
It's hard finding a spark plug wrench to fit your spark plugs today. Try to find one to fit that.
Oh yeah. Grab a wrench.
Yeah. There's an old wood turning lathe. Now this.
You'd actually put your logs on there, and
you got a foot pedal to work it.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed your tour of the Lewis County Historical Museum. We're standing in front of the tank that we saw earlier in the episode here. We're inviting you to come to Chehalis and
get tanked.
We had to say it. Yeah, we had to say it.
It's there.
It's right there.
It's right there. You got to say it. We had a great time. We want to take the opportunity to thank Barb Lawton, who is the director here at the Lewis County Museum, for allowing us to
videotape on such short notice.
Very short notice. They didn't open until 1, and we got up here
No, it was
about 1:30.
About 1:30, yeah.
Not long after they opened, so we really didn't have a chance to call them in advance. So we do want to thank her and the staff here for letting us come in and videotape on short notice. It's a very interesting museum. If you get a chance to get up here and check it out, take the time, because it's only about an hour's drive, about an hour and a half drive from St. Helens.
A lot of neat things to see here, and the even the building itself, which you saw the photographs of it. The building has not changed. It's been a very interesting tour, and hopefully we didn't spoil it too much. We didn't show every single thing here.
I'd like to thank Todd Hilton for allowing me to come on another road trip.
Oh yes,
yeah, we want to clear this up.
Yeah,
we've had a few people that have come up to me that have seen me on the 2 previous episodes that I've been on. I've only been on 2 episodes, folks, that say we really like your show, Road Trips. Well, it's not my show. Okay, I do a show called Go West with Becky McCash, and I do some sports coverage, but I cannot take credit for road trips. It is not my project. It is Todd Hilton and Dan Bradley's baby, as it were.
Yes.
And I am fortunate enough to every once in a while get a chance to come on here as a co-host. But I wish I'd have thought of this idea years ago, because it is a neat idea, and you get to travel, and you get to.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I've been on the Seattle trip and the Reno trip, and now this one. So.
And now this one is new for both of us. Neither one of us had seen this or the Jackson house. So that makes it even better when it's a new experience. Getting bombarded by
Harley Davidson.
Bombarded by Hell's Angels or something behind. So
we're going to take this opportunity to run. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, again, thank you. Yes.
We do want to thank the director and the staff for allowing us to come in, and that's going to do it. So for Road Trips, I'm Todd Hilton.
And I'm Mark Johnson, special guest co-host this week.
And we'll see you next time for the next episode of
Road Trips.